welcome to another episode of BZG's Talking Shit. My name is Barrett Courtney, I am your host, and here joined with me is my great co-host and even better friend, the bisexist from Texas, Henry Montiero. Hey Henry, how you doing today?
Bees?
Bees? Beads?
Beads?
If you don't know what we do here at Talking Shit,
Don't allow bees in here.
It's a topical-based talk show where one of us brings in a topic of conversation, and then we talk some shit about it. Today, the topic comes from myself again. Usually we have three people here for this show, but our third member of BZG, Ricky, could not be here with us this week.
He's been replaced with a Burger King sponsorship deal.
Yeah, he's being replaced by this cup.
Sponsor.
Burger King does not sponsor us in any way, shape, or form.
It's just close.
They sponsor us in the way where we go there and then we pay them and then they give us food. So today's topic comes from myself. Usually the third member would give their own. In this case, Ricky would give his own topic. But since it's the only two of us, I'm getting two topics this week. My topic today is we played a lot of video games, and we love a lot of video games. We have a top 10 video games list, which you can check out on our main YouTube page, youtube.com/baiazonagamers.
So we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the best game of all time.
No, what we're talking about today is we love a lot of video games, but there's probably a lot of video games that we felt like we've missed out on, that we missed the train on. And so my question to you and to myself sort of today is, what video game franchises do you feel like you just never understood, you just felt like you missed out on?
This is about Metal Gear Solid, isn't it?
It's sort of about Metal Gear Solid. This week, since today, the day you're seeing this episode will be Thursday. Tomorrow we are doing a Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero.
We did not understand it.
We did not understand any of it because you played a Metal Gear Solid 2 before, I believe?
Yes.
I have never played a Metal Gear Solid game before.
Seven loves Metal Gear Solid, at least the first one.
So this is my first time ever touching a game, and I started to understand why it drew to people and all of this stuff, but it's definitely a game franchise that I just totally missed the train on, and now I feel like it's too late to get into, which sucks because the Phantom Pain sounds like it's going to be really good, and it's coming out in a couple weeks.
Kojima!
But it's okay because I'll be getting Mad Max anyway, so that same day it's coming out. So while other people are playing Metal Gear, I can play some Mad Max. So my question to you, Henry, what game franchises do you think you've felt like you've missed out on?
I've never played an Assassin's Creed game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Was it just because you felt like you were too late, or what drew you away from it?
Well, I remember first I heard about Assassin's Creed.
The first one.
And it just seemed to me like one of those one-off games people made.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was just like, this doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, especially because it didn't get those that good review.
Yeah, like the first one was like it was all right.
It was like buggy and all that.
It sold a lot of units. That's the thing. Like that's like what's important, and that's what will cause you to get a sequel. So
and then Assassin's Creed 2 came out, and I heard that was awesome. But what happened was, I think that was at the time when I stopped paying as much attention to games as I used to, and started listening to a lot of music.
Yeah, so that's when you went into your music phase.
Yeah,
and sort of went away from games. I went through that like in a similar sense where I think it was probably Bully. It was Bully and Star Wars Battlefront 2 were probably like the last like games that I really got into, and then I just didn't really play any games until Batman Arkham Asylum came out. So I totally understand that.
So it's like. And then it's like Assassin's Creed 2, I hear is great. Mm-hmm. And I want to play a Black Flag.
Yeah.
Because you personally recommended it heavily.
Yeah, I think that's the only Assassin's Creed game you ever really need to play.
I still want to play Assassin's Creed 2 because it feels like the definitive Assassin's Creed game where it's like...
Yeah,
if you wanted the Assassin's Creed gameplay
experience, like, and just core gameplay, I think it's still like a great story. But I think Black Flag honestly is the best one. And I enjoy Unity because the gameplay switches up a lot. The gameplay mechanics did feel really, like they were really smooth in that game, despite of all of the glitches and stuff that I personally didn't experience. So I did actually really enjoy that. The story was whatever, but Black Flag, that story is that is heart-wrenching. And the same with Assassin's Creed 2. But anything else that you feel like you've missed out on, really?
Well, so it's like I missed out on Assassin's Creed, and then I didn't really ever play Grand Theft Auto until 5.
Wow. Yeah, and that's sort of the same for me. Like, I've owned Grand Theft Autos. I've never played through a full Grand Theft Auto game until 5. Like, I've had, 3 and San Andreas in my house before. I played through most of San Andreas. I didn't beat it, though. And I really enjoyed San Andreas. But 5 was the first one where, like, the story was actually interesting that made me want to play. The other ones didn't really... for the PS2 era, all I really wanted to do was just go around and kill things, and that was it.
Like, to me, here's what happened. All my friends were playing Grand Theft Auto back in elementary school.
Yeah.
Because it was like, man, this game is badass. It's cool, and you get to shoot people.
And then you were playing Pokemon.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was the Nintendo kid.
You were the Nintendo
I
kid.
am the Nintendo.
You are the Nintendo hub for BZG.
Yeah. And so what happened was... So all of them were playing that. Mm-hmm. And my dad was always like, you can't play Grand Theft Auto. It'll be bad for you.
Yeah, naturally. As a good parent should do for a child that young.
And then I think the first time I played Grand Theft Auto was when I was around 13.
Okay.
And my dad was like, you're a teenager now, so you can play Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
It's okay. Then the first one I played was 4, and here are my first thoughts. Holy shit. This game is terrible. Because, like, it's such...
That sucks that was, like, your sort of first experience with Grand Theft Auto, because a lot of people praised that game. A lot of game critics, like, praised that game when it came out. I never... And this was the time where I was sort of secluded from, like, the video game... Industry and sort of, like, the online community of, like, video game nerds. And I was still sort of in my, like, I don't really care about video games right now, but I'll play, like, I would go to my friend Joey's house, like, all the time. He would play, like, Assassin's Creed and the first one, and he would play, like, Gears of War and what are we talking about right now?
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, and he had Grand Theft Auto 4, and I played around with it for a while. And I did not understand why... he really enjoyed this game, and I just thought, it's probably just him. He probably just really likes this game, and then everybody else hates it. And then just until recently, like, I went back and looked at reviews a couple of years ago of this game, and people praised it. I don't understand it.
Here's what I think it is. It's because this was the first time, like, this game was when people started being like, you know, I think gamers want mature games.
Yeah.
But they didn't realize that mature games can still be fun.
Yeah.
Because Grand Theft Auto 4 is like, all the Grand Theft Auto games were ridiculous.
Yeah, and then 4 was like super
Let's make it serious, and like, Nico apologizes to people he hits with his car.
And then, like, Saints Row just, like, knew that they were totally messing up, and then Saints Row just went all out ridiculous.
Yeah, because, like...
That's actually a game series I've missed out on, was Saints Row.
I've actually never played it.
I've never played Saints Row.
But it was like, so... It's like, the people who make Saints Row were like, okay, guys, we made Saints Row for 1, and it was boring. No one really cared about it. And now Grand Theft Auto 4 is boring. Let's have people beat people up with dildos.
Exactly. Like, just like that concept is hilarious.
And so Saints Row 2 is like Grand Theft Auto if it was like wearing bunny ears.
Yeah.
And then Saints Row 3 is Grand Theft Auto if it was wearing a dick cannon. And Saints Row 4 is Grand Theft Auto if you shot it into space in a bomb of confetti and a dick cannon. And you're the president.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Like, are you actually the president in that game?
I think so.
That's hilarious. Whoa!
It's Milo. And like, so I played Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm like, this is boring as hell.
Yeah.
And then Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and I was hearing such good things about it, and I played it, and for the first time I was like,
first trailer, and I was actually genuinely interested in a Grand Theft Auto game.
Exactly. And then, like, you play it, and it actually found its way to have fun.
Yeah. Like, it knew how to be ridiculous, and like still have interesting like storytelling aspects of it, and like the relationships between those three characters, but still know how to be ridiculous to the point where you're driving a motorcycle on top of a train. And
it's like,
I want to play that game actually right now.
It's like, let's take the ridiculousness of Vice City, the size of San Andreas, but to a more reasonable extent because San Andreas is way too big.
Yeah.
And like the graphics and story of like story quality of Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
And then like made it actually good. And also Chinatown Wars is somewhere in there. We all forget that game exists.
It doesn't. I'm trying to think of other games that I've sort of missed out on, like a main one being Metal Gear, but and I know 7 is, you know,
a Metal Gear fan.
Yeah, he's
you liked Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. We talked about you thought 7 looks like Snake, right?
If he had
long hair and an eye patch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you say that like years ago, or was that someone did? I think maybe either my nephew or you.
I don't remember saying that before. Maybe it was your nephew. They're probably not hearing any of this.
Yeah. 7's...
Second time I've heard that.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
7's heard that comparison twice.
You talked about it yesterday when we were playing that game.
You mean tomorrow?
Yeah, or tomorrow when you get to see the Let's Play.
You've created a time paradox.
Yeah, Metal Gear being a main one. I'm trying to, like...
I feel like we both kind of missed out on Tom Clancy games.
Yeah, I've never been, and that's just something, like, I've never been a sort of stealth gamer. That's
only Splinter Cell.
Yeah, and that's sort of what Splinter Cell is, and...
If we had Ricky here, he could tell us all about Rainbow Six.
I mean, yeah, like, that's really it. Did you hear... Oh, I forgot to talk about BCG News today that Rainbow Six got delayed.
Oh,
December 1st. It was just like a month and a half to like improve on like beta.
Well, that's
stuff.
not that bad. It's not like how they kept delaying Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Yeah.
Just look at the characters in that and you'll probably find a series you missed out on.
In general sense, I've missed out on a lot of Donkey Kong games. The weird thing is Donkey Kong 64 is my favorite game of all time. And people think that I'm saying that like it's a joke, but that's serious. Like that is my favorite.
Serious.
That is my favorite game of all time. But I'm not that big of a Donkey Kong fan.
I heard the new Donkey Kong Country Returns games are pretty good, but I've never played.
I've never really played any other Donkey Kong game all the way through and like really enjoyed it. I don't know what it is about 64. It might just be, I don't know.
Oh, and to bring it up, just because we've talked about it so many times in the past, me and Zelda. So
yeah, you sort of.
That's less I've missed out on it, and more I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, it's just like sort of not your thing, and I guess that's sort of my thing with Metal Gear and Tom Clancy games where. I just knew what kind of game it was. Well, not really Metal Gear. I never really knew what the fuck Metal Gear was.
Oh, no one does. Not even the fans.
But I knew
Isn't that right, Seven?
I knew Tom Clancy was a sort of a more stealth-based game, and I just knew that wasn't my kind of thing. So, I guess I didn't miss out on that. But I'm trying to think of other major ones. Uncharted. Uncharted is a big one.
I've never played an Uncharted.
I've never played an Uncharted, and Ricky here can tell us all about the Uncharted games. I didn't think it was that funny.
I got one for you. Jak and Dexter. Never played a Jak and Dexter game.
Jak and Dexter, the first one, was really good. That series was really weird, and like the first one was sort of this 3D platformer in like the way we know it today. And then the second one was more of like...
A shooter.
And it just took this really weird turn.
It's like what Ratchet and Clank did.
Yeah.
Except I feel like Ratchet and Clank did it like more evenly. Because it was like you had the...
He's crawling.
Because you have like the first Ratchet and Clank where it's like you have the guns, but for the most part it's like an action platform.
Yeah.
Then going Commando, they added a bit more of the guns. And so on until you get to Deadlocked, which was mostly about shooter aspects.
Something I've missed out on is Sly Cooper.
I only ever played the first one, but I love it.
Yeah, I know it's on the PlayStation Now thing where you can play like it has like the trilogy pack or whatever.
You don't want to sign up for that, do you?
No, I don't. I might do the week free trial or whatever. And
just to play through those games?
Yeah, just to play through that, really.
Yeah, you can probably beat like those in a week if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, if I'm dedicated. I am busy though because I've started school.
And you have a job in this.
Yeah.
This ain't a job.
This ain't a job. I want it to be a job, though.
7, pay us.
No, we should be... If anything, we should be paying 7.
7, pay yourself.
But yeah, Sly Cooper, I always thought it was interesting, but it was like during that time where like I was interested in other stuff, like other video games. Like that was Sly Cooper came out during the time of like licensed games, so I was more into like Tony Hawk and like Spider-Man
And the Incredibles game.
and that was Ricky's. I hated that Incredibles game. I owned it, but I
have it.
hated it.
We all have a copy of that somewhere.
That's so I don't have it anymore, but
We've all had a copy of that.
That is very well because Incredibles was such a great movie.
Yeah.
How could
I love that
a
movie.
child not get that game?
Another
But,
one for me.
Go ahead.
Name any RPG besides Pokemon or Fallout, and I'll probably count for it.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
You've never played a Final Fantasy?
I played a brief part of the first one.
Wow. That's surprising. Final Fantasy is I'm not a huge RPG fan. Again, like I really like Chrono Trigger, and I really like. Final
I played
Fantasy.
Chrono Trigger because
Yeah.
that's just a perfect game.
Yeah. And I really enjoy some of the Final Fantasy games. I really enjoy
7.
10. I enjoy 7. I enjoy 6.
I enjoy 7.
I do enjoy 7. He helps us with a lot. I really like 6.
Like,
I like 10. I don't like 10 too.
as soon as they release Final Fantasy 7 HD version,
We'll never
I'll-
need you'll
I'll
play
play
that.
it.
And we'll probably never need another Final Fantasy game.
no, because that's like the definitive Final Fantasy game. It's like the only other thing you'd need to do is like release Final Fantasy 6 to Virtual Console.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
And-
it'd be even better, release it for like PS4 or Xbox One. PS4 preferably.
Yeah.
I played Earthbound and I love that game.
I never played Earthbound. But
Get it on the
going
Virtual
back
Console,
to
it's so good.
Uncharted, I've never played that. That's why, like, a lot of people think it's ridiculous, like, how many HD, like, remakes that we're getting. But I think Uncharted is, like, almost necessary. Like, PlayStation doesn't really have, like, it has a lot, in general of, like icons for PlayStation. Like, you have Jak and Dexter, you have Ratchet and Clank, you have Sly Cooper.
Parappa the Rapper. I'm just thinking of the PlayStation All-Stars.
You have Nathan Drake, and I think Nathan Drake is like a very important part of that, just because like I know who that is, even though I've never played those games.
He's the defining white man of our console generation.
Exactly. So I'm glad that they're bringing all of those to PS4 because I can finally play through those games.
I've also never played Infamous or Prototype, but you would say that's not missing out.
Infamous 1, I think you're missing out on. The rest of the Infamous games, I couldn't get really connected with the story of Infamous Second Son. I think
I actually got a copy of
He
that for
was-
PS4 for like $4.
really Second Son. Wow.
Maybe it was 8. I'll play it.
I just thought it was funny because it was Jack's older brother Will. Worked at PlayStation at the time, so Jack got to go over his brother's house, and he played Infamous Second Son before I owned a PS4 and got that game, and he was like, "This is the true next gen experience." And I played that game, and I was like, "Really? Using my controller as a spray painter and then having to point at the fucking thing? That's next gen experience? No."
And
It
then
looks-
you just hate Prototype.
and it wasn't like Prototype 1 and 2 are just awful games. Like you're not missing out on anything. But like the thing with Infinite, like Second Son, like it looked all right. I don't think it's the prettiest looking game. And so the gameplay mechanics are that of Spider-Man 2. So
And you don't need that in another version of that game because that game's perfect.
yeah, and I just really don't understand. Like I was really sorry for the expectations of Jack and a lot of other people who think that Infamous Second Son is the true next gen experience because I did not feel it there.
I feel like Arkham Knight's a true next gen experience.
Arkham Knight is the true next gen experience in the way that
It looks.
it looks so beautiful and it's so dense, and like Witcher 3 looks okay, but like it gets like frame rate lags and all of this stuff.
I still need to play it. I still have it. But
When you go into bogs and all of this stuff, but Arkham Knight works throughout the entire game.
No load times.
There's no loading times. None whatsoever. And that right there is just like a feat in itself of what next gen is expected to be.
The only time I can remember there being like weird graphical glitches is like near the end in the Arkham Knight headquarters.
Yeah, the only time anything really slows down, and it's because of how detailed it was when you're fighting, when Arkham Knight has the drill, and you're going through the caves. Whenever the explosions happen, I think it was a force. I don't think that was like the game fucking up. I think that was a force like frame rate like drop of like we're gonna have it go slow motion because it can't handle this in real time. That was the only thing for myself of seeing like it looking not that great. But
We're talking about games we're missing out on. We just bring up Arkham Knight.
Well, yeah, we sort of got us into down a rabbit hole. But it was a good little rabbit hole of like what next gen should be.
Yeah.
And
so eventually I'll play Infamous Second Son because
Yeah.
I have it. And I can probably find a copy of the first one.
I wouldn't
really
say
cheap.
like never play it. I don't think it's. I wouldn't invest as much time as I did. Because here's the thing. People out there would probably think like, oh, he probably barely played it. I played that game extensively. I didn't get the platinum. But it's one of like, I'm not sort of a trophy hunter kind of guy. But when you look at like the
Except
percentage.
for Rocket League.
Except for Rocket League, which is going to take, several months. Because I haven't played it recently. The only, like, when you look at my list of, like, the closest I've gotten to platinums, the closest probably right now is Rocket League, because I only have one more trophy. Then Arkham Knight, which is, like, 85%. I was thinking of doing the platinum there, but then, I got off track. And then I probably have something else in, like, the 70s range. Infamous Second Son, I have 60%. And then probably the next one after that is probably down at, like, 30% or something. Like, I played that game a lot of, like, emptying the map of all of the enemy territories and all this stuff, and I just didn't.
I think my highest is actually Arkham Asylum, and I only have 65%.
Wow.
I should go back and do the challenge maps.
Challenge maps are all right. Any other games that I feel like I've super missed out? Fallout.
I mean,
and
you're
it's
all gonna
never
play
too
Fallout 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna play. We're gonna do a Let's Play of Fallout 3 at one point. Probably before
Fallout 4.
like the Friday before Fallout 4 comes out.
And if you want to, you can just play Fallout 3 because I'm lending you
Yeah,
my copy.
I'll probably. I was playing. You let me borrow a bunch of games,
And I'm actually
started,
thinking of like.
I started playing the Marvel
Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance 2 last night, which is just still such a great game.
We should play that multiplayer. Do a stream of that with like you, me, Ricky, and Fluffy.
We can't do anything with Fluffy anymore.
With Daniel.
Daniel's leaving.
With Quentin.
Maybe Quentin. But other games, like, I did sort of miss out almost on The Last of Us, but then it came out on PS4 and that was awesome. But I'm trying to think of older games, like stuff that came out like when we were in middle school and stuff.
Adventure on the Atari 2600. I've actually played that game as a thing.
And here's the weird, like, I really like Smash, but I've never really understood like the real pull for Smash. I never owned a Smash game before, even for the N64. Like I
Meanwhile, I've owned all four.
Yeah, nerd.
I am.
Pardon me at the burp. Anything else? Last minute thoughts. Anything else that you've missed out on?
Never played Grim Fandango. But I have it, so eventually I'll play it and get angry at it.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never really played any of those. Oh, I just thought of the big one. The game that I've always meant to actually play, but the first copy I got of it was so terrible that I still haven't gone back to it. Psychonauts.
I've never played that.
Because
that's a 3D. That's like a DS game, right?
No, Psychonauts is the one for like Xbox, by Tim Schafer.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I hear so many people saying like, you have to play this game, you have to play it. But the problem was when I first played it, I played it on the PS2 port.
Ooh.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
So I
remember hearing about that.
At some point, I'm going to get a copy of it for I'm going to find a copy of it. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll do an updated re-release. That would be awesome. Probably not.
A good one that I've missed out on, surprisingly, is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have a copy of it on N64 somewhere.
What was the Xbox version?
Conker Reloaded.
Conker Reloaded. I remember a friend of mine had that, and we would play that a couple of times. Not extensively, though. But yeah, I never played that on the N64. I might try to find it somewhere. On Amazon, maybe.
Maybe if I find my N64 cartridge, I'll lend it to you.
Cool.
I can actually ask Seven about if that's down there.
And yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Like the main one would be like Uncharted and Conker's Bad Fur Day. But yeah, Fallout 3 or like just Fallout in general. Like I tried to get into it, and then it like I was playing it on Jack's computer, and the computer crashed, and I just didn't feel like putting all that time back into it. I might go back and play it later today. I'm in the mood for an RPG right now. I want Fallout so bad.
You're going to play Grand Theft Auto when you get home, and I already know it.
I can't wait for Fallout 4.
Yeah, play Fallout 3 when you get home. It's worth it.
I might do a little Ultimate Alliance 2 before, just to warm me up, and then go into Fallout 3. So thank you for joining us here today for this topic of talking shit. Today's topic, video game franchises that we've missed out on. And again, my name is Barrett Courtney, and here is my great co-host and even better friend, Henry Monteiro. If you have any topic suggestions for Talking Shit, you can, of course, tweet at us at baiazonagamers. You can tweet at me at BananaLechong. You can tweet Henry at Henrosaurus. Any topic suggestions you want us to talk some shit about. And, of course, if you don't have Twitter, which is understandable, you could also email us at baiazonagamers@gmail.com. Any inquiries there, any suggestions, all of that good stuff. And if you have any tech questions of how we look so good, how we sound so nice, you can also tweet at our tech guy at 7Morris, but the O in Morris is a 0. You can check into the description below. And if you need any more BCG content, of course, you can check out our other shows. We've got quick reviews that go up every Monday, Talking Shit every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Let's Plays every Friday. We also have a Twitch show, BGG News, at twitch.tv/baiazonagamers every Wednesday at 12:15 Pacific Time, where we talk about all the current nerdy news and pop culture news and all that stuff, and all that good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that dance in the background. And I actually checked our YouTube page today. We have in total of number of views, we have 77, what I looked at today. By the time this goes up, we'll have 83. I think this episode will be like our 83rd video. But today, we have 77 videos that I was looking at, and we have officially 900 total views on our channel.
Nice.
On average, 11 views per video. So if you want to bump that, you can also, share with your friends, bump that number up a little bit. What franchises have you missed out on? Sorry, I forgot to go through my regular rigmarole here. What franchises have you missed out on? You can share it in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, you can click that share button, share with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel and get all the updates of BCG's business and all that good stuff. And until next time on Talking Shit, have a great day full of shit talking and Jack and Dexter and this guy dancing. Just make a gif of that and then, put it everywhere. Put it on Reddit and all of those other sites you go to. Thank you for joining us here today. Have a good one.